Hi friends, welcome to ScreenVomit. It's me, Kayla, and I'm here with my co-host, Colin.
Hi, babies.
And
hey,
we have a special extra guest, and Colin's going to tell you all about them.
It's my turn folks. I have more friends than just my fiance, who guested on an episode. Yeah, the giggles you are hearing of my good friend, Teeth. Yeah, Teeth is. Say hi to the folks out there in Radio Land.
Hi, folks. Hi, folks out there in Radio Land.
Okay, that was too much. Teeth is a good friend of mine, and Teeth lives in Indianapolis and works at a youth organization for at-risk queer youth, right?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, yeah. Beyond that,
we know nothing about Teeth.
Nothing else. They saw Hinder within the last year, I think.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was the best show.
Yeah, so you know they are a true connoisseur of the arts, which is why we have had them on this episode.
I love the arts.
That's actually the subtitle to our podcast. I love the arts.
Oh, good grief. Hey, what movie did we freaking see?
We freaking saw this week the 2015 movie Into the Forest, which you can find on Netflix if you haven't seen it yet, and then come freaking back to the episode.
I kept mixing this up with Into the Woods.
I know.
The shit musical.
Funny story, the first comment on the trailer to this movie from 3 years ago, Into the Woods, Into the Forest, what's next? Into the Jungle. Great roast, 438 likes.
Damn.
Love that.
All right, well, yeah, that rules.
So, by the time this episode comes out, it will no longer be Pride Month. However, as of time of recording, it is the final hours of Pride Month. So, look at this, folks. We just squeezed this bad boy in. So, in this movie, we have Evan Rachel Wood, a notorious bisexual, from one of my favorite movies of all time, 13. Also in Westworld and True Blood. She's the damn queen of the She's in the Queen of the Vampires, baby.
I freaking looked up because I was like, who the hell? I know the name so well, but I can't think of a single freaking thing that she's ever been in.
Yeah.
And I look through her filmography, I see True Blood. I'm like, oh boy, Kayla's gonna have a field day with this one.
Yeah.
The freaking bloodhound here.
She's only in one season, I think, and she just has a small storyline. I mean, she is the queen of vampires, but she doesn't have a ton of screen time or anything. Mainly, I fell in love with her in the movie 13. Have either of y'all ever seen that movie?
13. I don't think I have.
It might be a little older than y'all.
I think we watched. This is classic. I took a drug and alcohol class in high school because it was an easy A, and all we did was watch drug and alcohol movies. And I think we watched 13, but I don't remember because we watched so many movies in that class.
13. Here's a little just info on 13 because it's a great movie. It was written and starred Nikki Reed, who was 13 at the time that she wrote it, and it's about these two girls just getting into shenanigans being 13, and it was very came out at when I was around that age, and just never saw like this kind of story portrayed of like two like one of them's a queer girl and they're both from like a poor neighborhood kind of joint. Anyway, really good flick, recommend.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, besides that, in this flick we also have Ellen Page, notorious lesbian, probably most notably known for Juno, I would guess. you know, hard candy, those kind of things. We have Max Minghella. I don't know if that's how you say that, but that's how it's going out of my mouth. From Handmaid's Tale. Is that 2 episodes in a row that we've had someone from Handmaid's Tale?
It is.
Sick. He's also in Horns with old Daniel Radcliffe.
We've talked about that movie a couple times. Yeah. Do you like it?
I remember loving it when it came out, but I haven't seen it since it came out. I mean, so
you're a freak.
Yeah, that's true. We also have Michael Eklund. Also, don't know if that's how you say his name, but he's in Bates Motel, a famous show named after me and Colin.
Hell yeah. Family business.
And then also Callum Keith Rennie plays the dad. And he had a storyline on the original L Word, so that's how he relates to being gay. Also, we have a lesbian director. Hell yeah, Patricia Rozema. I don't think she's really directed anything else that I've ever heard of, but, you know. So, stars 2 queer people, directed by a queer person. I guess I don't know how the men in this movie identify, but who cares about men anyway?
Hey. Hey now.
Just kidding. Men are valid, I guess, or whatever. So I picked it mainly because I knew it starred these 2 like notorious queer people. And I was like, hell yeah, it's going to be gay as hell. But really, there's not that much, and some would say no, queer content in this movie at all, besides just there being queer people in it. So, interesting.
Yeah, okay. Teeth called me last night and is like, hey, I want to talk about the movie. And I'm like, no, we can't talk about the movie till tomorrow. Plus, I haven't seen it. And I was like... Yeah, like, Kayla picked it because it's Pride Month, it's got, 2 queer actors, and Teeth was like, well, it wasn't that queer.
Yeah.
And I said, what do you mean it wasn't that queer?
Mm-hmm.
And after having seen it, Teeth, how, did you think this movie was any queer, or did you just misspeak last night?
I made a note to myself that said, Ellen Page's gay jeans look like Colin's jeans on me. So that was a personal queer connection to the movie. And then also Evan Rachel Wood chopping wood in a dress. Those were the 2 things.
Holy shit.
Hell yeah.
Are you kidding me?
And the cuddling, some of the cuddling, even though they're supposed to be sisters, quote sisters in this movie, I was like, they have a vibe, and they talk a lot in their interviews about how, like, close they got on the set of this movie and stuff, and I'm just like, I wonder how close they got, you know what I mean?
I had a very similar reaction to their freaking closeness.
Yeah.
Bunch of freaking perverts I got on this podcast.
Hey.
I'll do this now. Lindsay said that too, that like chopping wood is queer.
Yeah.
WTF. I've never heard that.
And Ellen Page had to teach Evan Rachel Wood how to chop wood, and that is also extremely gay content.
Okay. Holy shit. Have both of you chopped wood before?
No.
I have in my farm days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, you had farm days.
I did
that's cheating.
I did not do it in a dress, and that elevates it, I think.
Ellen Page was also wearing a flannel shirt for most of the movie, and tied around her waist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I changed my mind. This is queer content.
Okay. We gotta at least get to the trailer.
Well, tell us the critic scores real fast.
Okay, yeah, we got some pretty good critic scores. We got Rotten Tomatoes giving us a good old 76. Pretty good. Mm-hmm. Metacritic being Metacritic. It hasn't been Metacritic for a bit, but it's Metacritic this time. 59.
59.
59. And the Google users, the wild card, coming in at 66.
I would say, like, kind of almost negative reviews. Seems like this is like a C-/D.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got a 66 in school, that's a D. 59 is a F, man.
this is what... Hey, let's hash this out. I think it is reductive to the percentage system to apply the letters that we were given as a standard in school. I think it sucks. Because almost everything is an F, then. Almost everything sucks.
You just say that because you got straight Fs.
No! But this is also why the freaking 100% is too big. 5 stars is the only way to rate things.
Yeah, that's fair. That's the easiest way.
Yeah.
All right.
Because a 2.5 star is still good. Anyway.
Should we watch this trailer?
Let's just knock it out.
Dad? Why don't I have a signal? Okay, there's no water either. There's nothing.
Darkness and light.
Now, a crisis like this doesn't always bring out the best side of people.
Bring on the night. Cast from the earth. Gather your seeds.
This is all we have. We have each other.
Take to the land. Daughters of mine.
Things are starting up again back east. I want you to go with me, Nellie.
Be not afraid.
I just thought I'd come by to see if you're okay.
Anybody there?
We need to stick together. What else are sisters for?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right out the gates.
I hate the trailer song.
What?
I hate the trailer song. Is that what you were going to say?
I was not.
Oh, okay. What were you going to say?
But the trailer song does suck.
Yeah.
Why was this movie set in just, 10 years in the future?
I think they probably wanted it to feel more realistic. I know that they made some specific choices about how most apocalyptic movies, this is based off of a book, first of all, so I guess that's the first thing to say. But most apocalyptic stories have zombies or, something crazy like that. They wanted it to feel like something real that could happen to anybody, because I feel I'd have to get into what the ultimate message of the movie is. I think,
Yeah. No, I'm tracking with you, and I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm watching this, I was like, oh, remember when New York had a blackout?
Mm-hmm.
5-6 years ago, or something. It makes you think about how easily, it didn't take much, and their whole entire world unraveled, basically, Totally. Yeah. All that's sticking in my caw right now is their TVs and computers are different.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're all glass tablets.
Yeah.
Why?
I freaking can't with that, because I think that is the thing that, more than anything else, they make the choice to make the computers and the TVs and the phones transparent glass with numbers on it. And that is the classic apocalyptic movie feel. And I would not have known that this movie was set in the future otherwise. And it pissed me right off.
Who wants a see-through computer anyway? Then you'd have to see all the stuff behind it. That just doesn't seem like a good idea, in my opinion.
Not at all.
Yeah, so this is set in the near future, is the quoted time
No.
from now, the near future. Same as when we watched Her. It was also set in the near future. So, who knows what that means? I know. Also, just
boy.
up top
I hate the
notes,
near
it is an
future.
A24 film, and we love A24, gotta say. And I mentioned it was based on a book, and that book is by Jean Helfand. Yeah,
Hell yeah, baby.
Ellen Page actually read the book and loved the book so much that she helped produce it into a movie. So
I like a good book every now and then. I guess me and Ellen Page have that in common.
yeah,
You have so much in common.
this movie is based around the story of two sisters and a dad. Sisters Eva and Nell, which are just shorter versions of their IRL names. Evan Rachel Wood is Eva,
Oh my god.
and Ellen
Ooh.
Page is Nell.
I guess that works. Nell's a little bit of a stretch.
It is Nellen Page. And let's see, Evan Rachel Wood is a dancer, and she's doing lots of dancing for an upcoming audition. Ellen Page is a high schooler,
Okay.
which is interesting because when this movie came out,
Yeah.
so Ellen Page in the movie plays the younger sister. It doesn't really say exactly how old they are, except that we know Ellen Page is in high school about to take the SATs, so probably junior or senior, and Evan Rachel Wood is out of high school at some point. And but in real life, Ellen Page is actually 6.5 months older than Evan Rachel Wood. And when this movie came out, they were 29 and 28, respectively.
Jesus fucking
Beautiful.
Christ. Okay. For the first, I want to say, 30 to 40 minutes of the movie, the primary thought that was occupying my head was, how old are these characters how old are they? Because I just could not fucking detach from it. When Ellen Page was studying for the SAT early on, I was just like, she can't be doing this again. Like, no fucking way they're gonna keep casting her as a goddamn high schooler. And then but her relationship, like, to Evan Rachel Wood was just, it made me even question how old Evan Rachel Wood was supposed to be. I thought she was fucking a high schooler too. I was just like, I could not with this fucking casting 30-year-olds as high schoolers. Stop it.
I know, it is a lot. I was also mad that in their version of the future that SATs still exist.
Yeah. WTF.
Yes.
We're...
And that she had to learn what a fugue state was to take her SAT.
What kind of dorks study for their SAT?
Yeah, true. And the fuck is a fugue state? That's not on the SAT. Are you kidding me?
No! They're just like, read this sentence and tell me the meaning or something. I don't remember the SAT because I did bad on it. And I didn't study for it. Yeah. I was too busy being cool as hell. Anyway, let's move this movie along.
Okay, so this family lives in a glass house in the woods, as people love to do.
Oh yeah.
Just fully glass. And they start experiencing power outages in where they live. And everybody's power is out for a long time. And at first they're listening to the radio, but then the radio also goes dead. So then it's spooky. And so the movie's kind of separated into chunks by time zone, I guess. So it cuts to 10 days later. And this is the first time they've had to go to the store, which is interesting. And all the shelves are totally empty. And no toilet paper, you know.
Hey, we freaking know what that's like. You know how many fucking toilet paper memes my mom has sent me over the past 3 months?
I can only imagine. Yeah, so, you know, we know what this is like. No TP, a bunch of maniacs running around everywhere. They walk in the store and somebody has a gun. This is America.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know
Yeah.
what
Bikers being creeps.
This is the most American movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Because on their way back
Yeah.
from the store, they pull over to, like, try and help this car that's on the side of the road. And a guy just walks up with a gun and is like, doesn't
He
say
doesn't
anything.
say a single word.
But, yeah, that's totally normal.
Yeah. And when they are in town, we also meet Ellen Page's boyfriend. And they get drunk together. And she falls down and scratches her face. And that's normal.
Yeah. It's normal for your dad to be cool as hell that you're wasted and he's picking you up.
Yep.
From your boyfriend.
At 16. Yeah. That's a very normal dad thing to do, is not be, like, verbally berating your daughter for the entire ride
And you're in
home.
high school,
That's
keep
insane.
in mind, too.
In high school! If I picked up, and I'm not a father, I want to say that. I don't have kids. But if I ever picked, or in the future, pick up my 16 to 17-year-old daughter or son or anything from a party and they're drunk, they're gonna get I'm at least gonna probe. Are you okay? How are you feeling?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, like, what's your relationship with alcohol like? Because I'm gonna be a shit dad in that sense. Anyway.
He's just like, oh, you scratch up your face there? Interesting.
He was cool as hell.
Yeah, that dad did not care.
No, and the whole thing was she was supposed to meet him at a certain place at a certain time, and she didn't show up there, so he had to come and get her from the place, too, that she already bailed on showing up where she was supposed to be, so that was
And he did not even mention that.
No.
This dad is so cool.
Yeah, or like, is this normal behavior for this teen? Like, what is her deal? Like,
Yeah. She's always... Oh my god. Because she gets drunk, not just with her boyfriend, but on a beach bonfire party. Classic. We've all been to those.
during the apocalypse.
And
Actually, they are happening now.
As, like...
Look up Go Topless Jeep Weekend in Texas.
Shit, I gotta look at that.
That's supposed to be for the listeners.
Topless Jeep Galveston 2020. Good God. Anyway, that rules. It's like panning out from the shot of like the boyfriend remaining at the bonfire, and there's seriously just like 6 people standing around the fire doing the worst dances. Just these extras who were clearly directed to just be like, you're at a beach party, have fun. And it looks just like the worst fucking party in the world.
This is what partying is like, babies.
Yeah.
So they get back to the house, and they have no gas. So clearly somebody's like siphoned their gas or something during this trip. And,
Is that what you thought?
yeah. Because he
Okay.
just got gas.
I thought the gas that he got was the gas that they have for the rest of the movie.
Well, he got gas in the car. The car was filled up.
Oh. Okay.
And then
All
when
right.
they got back, they was on empty. So they're like gonna have to really save the gas that they got, because they only got 5 gallons in the tanks that they got home.
Okay.
And as we find out, it takes
I must have
2 gallons of gas to get to town, which, if you put that into miles, if you figure most cars get about, I'd say approximately 30 miles to the gallon, then it's like an hour away to get to town, right?
I know. Yeah. Why are you living so far out there anyway?
That's because they got a glass house, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's the only place you can have a glass house.
And yet, people still end up coming to their house, even though it's so far away.
Yeah.
Multiple people.
Okay.
Interesting. So we get a big scene here with the old dad and the chainsaw. Our first big nightmare of the apocalypse. dad's cutting down the tree and he cuts his leg and instantly dies. Pretty much.
Oh, yeah, not before yelling, I'm leaking, I'm leaking.
Is that what he yelled?
Yeah.
That's not what he yelled.
His daughter... No joke, I had subtitles on, and his daughters, like, hop a log to see him, and he's like, oh, girls, I'm leaking, I'm leaking.
There's no way.
I don't think
That's
he
what
said
it fucking
that.
said!
I kind of want
I
to pull up
think your
Netflix right
subtitles.
now.
Yeah.
If my subtitles are wrong, I'm happy they're wrong, because I have written in my notes, I'm leaking, I'm leaking.
I think it had to say bleeding.
No, he was
No.
saying something about how he's dying. So maybe it was like, I'm
Well,
leaving or I'm passing or
No,
something.
this is before he started saying all that. The first thing is they're like trying to put a tourniquet on him. And he's like, oh, I'm leaking, I'm
No,
leaking.
There's just no way.
Which, yes, it is. I swear to fucking God. And from now on, that is how I'm going to describe my own bleeding. Anytime I'm bleeding, it's like just a little leak. Had a little leak in my finger.
Yeah,
Oh
when
my
I
God.
become when I become a director, I am absolutely making the decision to have my characters say I'm leaking as they're bleeding out in the woods.
Maybe he was panicking and like, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, I'm dying, so I can't think that fast. Leaking, I'm leaking. It's just, whatever, it's what my subtitles said.
I'm looking it up, to be honest.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. I'm right to the part. So hold on. I'm gonna hear what he says.
Girls, I'm leaking.
Oh my God, he does.
What? What?
King Colin!
Oh my.
Just go to the part where he cuts himself with the chainsaw and stick around.
That
till
is
he,
absurd.
complains about leaking.
I can't
Oh,
believe
boy.
that's real and I missed it. So after he leaks to death, the two girls sleep with his dead corpse.
Yeah.
Yo, what? I guess I went to the bathroom and missed this. They sleep with his corpse?
So you were present for the I'm leaking, but you instantly left for them sleeping with his dead corpse.
Look, Lindsay and I were watching this movie and eating dinner and doing all sorts of things.
Whoa. Okay, TMI.
No,
Colin.
not that. Just mostly eating and
Wow,
looking at
we
the
know
food.
you're nasty. You don't have to rub it in. And then after
Okay.
they sleep with his dead corpse, they take baths with their bloody covered bodies and just
Yeah.
soak up in the blood, which people love to do in movies.
They do.
I don't understand because they did say that the water wasn't working, and they are taking baths and using the toilet all the time in this movie, so...
Yep.
Yeah, I don't understand it totally, but it has to do with the rainwater they collect, I think? Because, like, later when Evan Rachel Wood is taking a bath, Ellen Page is, like, taking rainwater and pouring it in the bath that she's in.
We only see it rain 2 days, and it's the last day that they're there.
Hey, it's freaking California. It rains all the time
Yeah,
there.
as we know. California, where it famously rains so often.
I don't know, maybe it's Washington. It does rain in Washington a lot. They just say the West Coast, right?
Oh yeah, I guess I did read it's like Pacific Northwest, so it doesn't
I guess
it doesn't say where it is, but that's kind of where it's set, is just that general area.
Yeah, if it's Oregon or Washington, they might get some decent rain. But it is an oversight.
Yeah.
That is not explained well.
They do say there's going to be winter, so it's probably not California. Yeah.
Anyway.
Interesting. So then we flash to 2 months, and they're still like pretty normal. Like I'm interested in what do they do all day long, because it doesn't really show what they do all day long. And we're like 2 months in now, and as we know from being in quarantine for now 4 months or whatever, you know, like 2 weeks in, I was pretty much losing my GD mind, and these people have been 2 months and they don't have electricity, so...
Look, Kayla, you don't have the gift of dance, apparently, that keeps you sane and mean to your sister. That
was the only realistic
Evan
part. Them, like, fighting over stupid shit.
Yeah.
That was realistic.
They definitely didn't, like, go in depth at how they did things all day. I don't know. I didn't question that.
It is one part that, like, really stuck with me because they were just hammering in the dance practicing and the SAT studying. And I was like, is this what they're doing just all the time? And later they start foraging, but that didn't happen yet.
No. That doesn't happen until 6 months.
I do think, I understand the sister doing the dance is indicative of her, I think, trying to hold on to some semblance of normalcy to keep herself sane. Mm-hmm. Which is, like, all well and good. I can understand that.
That at least, like, kind of makes sense.
Relying on the SATs, though, it was so, like, foreign to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I know I'm lazy and I don't give a shit, but, like, even the dorks I know and knew in high school would have been like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to study anymore because, you know, it's been... maybe after like 2 weeks they'd quit studying.
I haven't gone to school for 2 months. I think the SATs are called off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? You're gonna get better? Like, you probably are the best you're gonna get now. You can't study that much for a randomized test like that.
Yeah. It's just interesting.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, because they don't find books or anything until at least 6 months in. So I'm just curious what they're doing, really, for those first 6 months. I get that Evan Rachel Wood, she at least has, like, a hobby. She loves to dance. She's trying to strengthen her body. That at least, like, kind of makes sense. But what the fuck is Ellen Page doing?
I don't know. And she is TBQH, the seemingly handling this all better than Evan Rachel Wood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How?
Yeah, interesting. So yeah, they start fighting over dumb shit. They're fighting over candy. They're fighting over the gas. I'm wondering also, how have they had food this long? For 2 months, you've never gone to the store one time, and you still have food every day?
I don't know, maybe Dad was a... when I think of my parents, they've got stocked houses that could last more than a month. I don't know. I think I could stretch my... I'm looking at thinking about my little food shelves. I could stretch it for a minute.
You think so?
Maybe. I don't know. They did just go to the store, but the store was empty. Never mind.
The store was empty.
Never mind.
And that was 2 months ago.
They did show them eating like a cup of food each time.
Yeah.
Small portions.
I guess, but even
maybe just rationing.
Even a cup of food each time for a couple times a day for 2 months for 2 people, that still adds up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm starting to realize is, as much as important as the apocalypse and the survival aspect is to this movie, it doesn't hold up much under scrutiny.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They just seem to kind of make it for, as we'll find out, quite a long time without much until some of it is explained later. But especially these first 4 to 6, 2 to 6 months are just, it's rationing, or how you see Ellen Page sit on the toilet once and like she pours some water in the tank or something.
Yeah.
And we're just supposed to be like, oh, so you're having that much you're having enough rainwater where you aren't pissing outside.
Yeah.
Because why aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't you? You live in the goddamn woods.
True.
Just go piss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the plumbing,
Yeah.
What's the situation with the plumbing? Are they just like letting their shit be in there all day? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Where's it going to? If water isn't running, I don't know, it's septic, it just doesn't hold up. And I mean, the survival and apocalypse aspects just kind of serve the greater purposes and stories, I guess.
Yeah. I agree. She also uses leaves for toilet paper, which is fun.
Yeah. They were good palm-sized toilet paper leaves.
Yeah, big ol' boys.
I just stopped wiping.
What were you about to say, Teeth?
Okay.
Oh my gosh, was this the time frame with the chocolate egg scene?
Yeah.
I want to know if either of you were bonkers about that scene. A, I hate watching people eat stuff up close in movies. And B, that scene was so misplaced to me. It did not belong in this movie.
It for sure agitated me. I around this time, I have a lot of notes of me shitting on Evan Rachel Wood.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Look here. I think I hate ERW's character and ERW for having a forgettable face.
No!
For some reason, every time she was on screen for the first 25 minutes, I was like, who? Oh yeah. I just could not. Your face blindness came to me.
No.
And dance, I don't like dance is a note.
You know what's funny? I was famously in a musical last summer, and the choreographer for the musical looked exactly like Evan Rachel Wood. And then I watched this movie where she's a dancer. I'm like, what the F? It's crazy. I was having PTSD.
That's wild.
Yeah. Oh, and this is a little later, but what's with the sleeves outfit on dumbass ERW?
Oh my god, Goose said the same thing. I'm like, I think it's just like a dance outfit. I don't know.
It's just sleeves and your upper back.
They show the back of her outfit so much.
They really want to hammer in how it's like, you guys seeing this? Costumers worked months to think of this.
And honestly, she wears that outfit, I would say 95% of the movie.
She looks great in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, pretty dumb. Anyway.
That's dancer clothes. But yeah, the chocolate, I don't know, in movies they always make such a big deal about chocolate. We watched Alita Battle Angel a few episodes ago, and she eats chocolate and is like, this is the best thing I've ever tasted in my whole life and everything, and it's like, I don't know, I don't really care about chocolate. I think, I don't know.
It's like a 6 out of 10. It's like a 2.5, maybe 3. It's 3 stars if you get dark chocolate.
Especially those little chocolate eggs. There's just not, there's nothing more to them.
And it's old.
It's just milk. Yeah, milk chocolate is...
Yep.
We give chocolate 2 stars.
Yeah. It was presumably from their childhood, too, because she just, found the Easter egg in a trunk.
Yeah.
She's like, this is the best
That's some old-ass chocolate.
27-year-old chocolate.
Yeah.
Because she's not 17.
Yeah, so, yeah, that was goofy. Also in this timeline, Ellen Page's boyfriend shows up to the door, and now he's living with them. Cool. And they go to Ellen Page's secret treehouse, and they bone. And this is Ellen Page's first on-screen nude scene, which is interesting.
Oh.
I didn't like this scene.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like I don't like it.
Why
it made
not?
me uncomfortable. I don't know. I just have not a fan of sex scene.
Colin.
I didn't like... Hey, trust me. I like some sex scenes. Let me tell you. I just didn't like this one. I don't know.
I thought it was fine and normal.
I think it is fine and normal. I don't know.
I thought it was fine.
What's strange to me is that, they seem to imply that these people have just started dating, right? They don't even know each other that well. And now they're just, living together and gonna run away together. Just seems
the
interesting.
apocalypse.
After also not having spoken, really, for the last several months. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, but he walked there for her.
Yeah, I guess so, but I don't know.
No, it's pretty flimsy.
It's flimsy, alright? It's thin. And they decide they're gonna go to Boston, baby. Boston.
Hell yeah.
Where they hear, or he hears, that they still have electricity and civilization, basically.
Uh-huh.
But how would he even hear that? I just think that's kind of wild, too.
I'm very pro the boyfriend's opinion on this.
Oh, yeah?
Just fucking go. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess why not? You know, what
Yeah.
do you have to lose if you're already, like, in the situation that you're in?
Totally. You might as well have something to, like, I don't know, actually look forward to other than the complete drudgery of day after day after day of nothing.
And we've all read and or seen Into the Wild and wondered what it would be like.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw or read Into the Wild.
Come on.
Classic.
It's a good read, I would say. I didn't really care for the movie as much.
Okay.
Yeah, so could be fun, but interesting. How did he hear that? Then we pop up to 6 months ahead, and this is when they finally realize that there are books in the house, and they just happen to have books on, like, foraging and all kinds of things that they need to know about, and so they start foraging so they can have earth food, and Ellen Page was concerned with getting pregnant. Evan Rachel Wood was like, you better not get pregnant because we can't afford to feed nobody else, which is ironic later. But Ellen Page gets her period, which we love to see a period in a movie.
Love it.
Yeah, they never show periods in movies, and honestly, they should.
No, you're right. I was, like, I noted it. I wasn't shocked or anything, because, like, you know, I'm a cool guy. I get it. But I was like, I was like, that's interesting. You never see that, like, exact film angle of a bloody pair of underpants. But it probably happens. I don't know. I don't have them.
Yeah. Especially to teens, I feel like you never really know when your period is coming or going. Like, you have no sense of your own body. You just bleed everywhere. And then we have, like, a time when they finally decide to turn on the power. They use some of the gas and turn on the power and get drunk and have a night together. And it's cute.
Yeah.
So we're approaching this point, and I want to do a little trigger warning that there is a rape scene. I should have done this up top, and I forgot to. But trigger warning, and I will post in the description of this episode what time we stop talking about this, so if you want to skip ahead to that time and not listen to this part. So that's the warning. Okay, so Stan from the store shows up at the house, and I mean, you just know something bad's gonna happen, right?
He was fucking creepy at the store.
Yeah, he was. And his name is Stan. I mean, come on, whose name is Stan? Only creeps.
Lindsay literally said Stan is a creeper name, and I turned to her and I said, "You're really roasting your Uncle Stan there, Lindsay."
See, she knows from experience. And this is also when Evan Rachel Wood is chopping the wood with her beautiful dress on, and which is queer content that we hate to see ruined in this way, but Stan does rape her, which sucks. But I feel like if you're gonna show a rape, that they did it in the most tasteful way. I hate it.
Yeah. No, it's...
Yeah.
You come to this question, which is a valid question to pose, which is like, should sexual assaults be depicted in art and media? And I am not a survivor. I'm not a victim. I don't claim to be, so I'm not an authority on this. But from my very privileged perspective, I think it is not inherently bad to depict it.
Yeah.
I think it can be done in a way that, because art is supposed to reflect life and be, you know, relatable and allow us to empathize and feel for these characters. And so I agree with you, Kayla. I think this was depicted in a very, I don't want to say like you're I painted myself in the same corner. You can't call it tasteful.
You can't really call it tasteful, but
and acceptable, I guess.
Yeah. It's hard to find the right word, but I hope that the listeners just know what word we're reaching for.
Yeah.
I thought it was super, like, impactful and not in a cringy way, in like a, ooh, they shouldn't have done that way, but just the emotion behind it, they hit that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's totally on the head, because I felt fucking floored after this.
Yeah, you know what? That's it. They focused more on the emotion and less on, like, the traumatic act, I guess.
Yeah.
More on the emotional impact of the traumatic act. You know.
That's what hit me so hard, because she is in bedridden and depressed for, I mean, you don't really know how long, but it's multiple days.
I would say months.
Sure.
Because the next skip up is to 8 months. So currently we are at 6 months. The next skip up is to 8 months, and she's still like that. So
yeah.
I also I thought that they did a really good job conveying Ellen Page's, like, frustration with Evan Rachel Wood not recovering. And, like, that's a particular emotional space to occupy as a sibling, too. So that was really real feeling and interesting, the way they did that.
Totally. And this is where, like, that survival and apocalypse aspect is really helpful, like, in making the story very complex and layered. Because of course you also feel for Ellen Page, like Teeth said. And it's so hard not to, because, like, in my head, I'm thinking, if I'm Ellen Page, I'm like, come on, like, we have to fucking survive. What are you doing in bed all day? But how do you do that? What do you know what's happened? And it's your fucking sister.
And like, how do you cheer somebody up when you're struggling yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to put this in my notes, but this part of the movie, post the assault, I was, till the end, I was fucking glued to it. I was so engrossed, and I felt the characters felt so fucking real to me, and I truly felt myself empathizing with them, and to the best of my abilities, and just, it was wild. I don't know the words right now.
I think this is probably the best depiction of, like, what it's like to have been a victim of something like that I've ever seen, I think, in a movie or TV.
Hell yeah.
And that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I think one thing you gotta say about this movie, no matter what, is that these two actresses, they just kill it. I mean, they're so good.
Absolutely. All of my complaints about Evan Rachel Wood and dance and all that, everything faded away in the ensuing scenes, because it was just so fucking good. Like I said, I just felt so glued to this story. I was like, you guys, all right, I'm in. How are you guys gonna fucking get out of this?
Yeah. So Ellen Page does so much to try and take care of her and try to make her feel safe. She, like, boards up all the glass around the house, and is just doing everything she can to, like, try and help her. And it's really sweet, but it's really heartbreaking. And
totally.
Yeah.
They did such a good job at capturing, like, the tenderness and how she was treating Evan Rachel Wood, while also being, like, quite frustrated and trying to just, like, move on from it, but, like, she doesn't get to make that choice. And I think they did such a good job capturing that internal conflict.
Totally.
Yeah, it was really good. So next flash forward, we're at 8 months, and Ellen Page finds clearing off a top shelf, a note that says pumpkin on it. It's an envelope that says pumpkin. And the girls get so excited that they found this note that's probably from their dad, just in case anything bad would have happened. And they're like, okay, let's make it special. Ellen Page finally convinces Evan Rachel Wood to go out of the house for the first time to sit down and read this letter together. And they're just getting all pumped up, making it real special. And then they sit down and open the envelope, and it is pumpkin seeds.
Womp womp.
Man, that was heartbreaking too.
Yeah, that was pretty. I was kind of glass half full. I was like, "You got pumpkins now."
I know. Yeah, but
no, the emotional impact is fucking. It's just such like, at this point in the movie, you're just like, Jesus Christ, these are dark fucking times for these two.
Yeah, and it just keeps being dark, really, like, because then Ellen Page hurts her back, and Evan Rachel Wood has to run outside and get her, and then massage her, and then just, like, she's triggered by having to touch somebody, and is, like, having, a big episode about, like, getting really upset and crying and stuff, and it's just so, like, it was gut-wrenching, but
totally
in a good way, I guess. Because it's just really, I don't know, it's really intense.
It's weird to try to compliment this movie for depicting such horrid things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True, but it depicts the horrible things in such a beautiful way. Actually, Evan Rachel Wood had a great quote about it. I wrote it down. There's so many gruesome, horrible things going on, but it's still kind of beautiful at the same time, and I think that's kind of what life is like. And that's what Evan Rachel Wood said about the movie, and I think that's what we're seeing here. That's what we're trying to say.
I mean, at this point, they're doing something that I think maybe adults might have done sooner, which is like try to actually give yourself a fucking purpose through this. And like Ellen Page is looking at like, all right, I'm just gonna fucking garden. My phone quacked.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry, I didn't know my ringer on. Yeah, no, Ellen Page, and then Evan Rachel Wood kind of stumbles into her purpose, but yeah, just finding something to do because everything else is so fucking horrible. And if you don't, occupy yourself with something, you're just going to, go insane.
Yeah. Yeah, so right after this is when we see Evan Rachel Wood puking. And anytime you see a woman puke in a movie, it's there's only one reason why that ever happens.
Literally, okay. Ellen Page is like going like, oh, it could be this, it could be that. And Lindsay and I are both like, it's pregnancy. And she's like, it could be dysentery. It's like, no, it's pregnancy.
It's pregnancy.
How do you not fucking know it?
I would love to see a woman have food poisoning and then no baby.
Yeah.
Give me a woman who shits and pukes for a real reason.
Bridesmaids.
Oh yeah?
They get food poisoning in Bridesmaids.
Hell yeah, I don't remember that movie.
Colin, that's totally different because they're puking and shitting at the same time. So it's not a pregnancy puke scene.
Look, that's anyway, you're right.
We need a pregnancy puke scene where it's then just food poisoning.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
right.
and just every time a woman's in a movie and pukes, she's going to be pregnant. And I'll tell you, that's harmful to real life because every time I've puked in real life, the first thing somebody says is, oh, are you pregnant? But guess what? Leave me a damn alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, leave Kayla a damn lone.
Title of episode. So, next cut in this movie is 15 months. And Evan Rachel Wood is pregnant for sure. And she's B12 deficient, as they find out by reading an encyclopedia, which is interesting.
These books are goddamn magic, apparently.
So they find out you get B12 from animal products, but their own animals were previously murdered, so they have to go and murder a pig. And so Ellen Page climbs up in a tree, shoots a pig, falls out of the tree, and her falling out of the tree, I gotta say, was funny.
It was pretty funny. They got a chuckle out of me.
Just dunk. That's hilarious. And so she actually did have to learn how to butcher a pig for this movie.
No
It's an
shit.
actual real scene of her butchering a pig. And
Oh,
she's like pretty staunchly vegan in real life, so I think that's interesting dedication. And
Yeah, that's... Oh, man. That would be like a disqualifier for me for any...
Yeah.
Like any job or role. No, I can't fucking butcher a pig.
no freaking way, dude. Yeah, and she said she found it really upsetting and gross.
Yeah. I mean, they show the whole fucking thing, too. Like,
Yeah, and it's gross to
You
watch, too. Yeah.
Totally. You see her pull out all the guts.
Ugh. Shit nasty.
Yeah.
So they have, they just happen to have laying around the house huge things of lye and food grade preservation salt, so that they can make homemade soap and preserve all this meat that they have with no refrigerator. As we all do, have huge things of lye and food grade preservation salt laying around the house.
Yeah. I'm sitting in my closet on my lie box.
quarantine.
So the roof has been leaking for much of the movie, and in the middle of the night, I think, part of it falls in.
Yeah.
Somebody left this comment on the trailer, which I thought was funny. The roof caved in after a year with no internet or something.
Yeah. That is another one of the, like, survival aspects that I was like, okay. The house is in decay.
Yeah. After
in
1
this-
year.
Yeah, I once was fortunate enough to go to an island that had been uninhabited. It was inhabited for like a brief time, and then from like the 60s to like the 90s, and then it was uninhabited. And like what happened from 90 to like I was there in like 2010. So like 20 years of decay. All it is just there's plants on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Plants it's just ivy grows on everything. Not everything is fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, and that was a nice house. It was a nice house,
It
too.
was.
Exactly. You got that handy ass dad. You know he had a reinforced roof.
Yeah.
A big ol' WTF moment, folks, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 1 year with no internet and the roof caves. So they decide to go to the tree house, and
Yeah.
I think this is when Evan Rachel Wood's having the baby, basically.
Yeah, she says she can't give birth in the house because there's black mold everywhere.
No, that was after she gave birth, because this was a WTF moment for me.
Oh.
She's like, I am
Yeah.
in the middle of having my baby, and I need to go hike in the woods for 3 miles and get to this tree
yeah.
house up a hill.
I'm like, how did they even make it to this tree house? And then she has the baby. She was like squatting for a while. Goo was like, I didn't think that's the position that women had babies in, but maybe it's just me. She's like squatting down. And then, pops out the baby. And they go back to the house. And Evan Rachel Wood says that, that's when she says it's full of black mold. And they have to set it on fire.
Okay.
It's the only way.
Right. It was a little extra.
I can only understand it on a symbolic level. There is no practical purpose to burn it down.
I think kind of her reasoning was that, like, people would come looking for them.
It was flimsy as fuck.
Yeah. But she also was maybe, like, paranoid about Stan coming back for them or, like, trying to find them or whatever. Mm-hmm. But still.
I was like, Lindsay, they should have they take the gasoline with them. And Lindsay is smart enough to be like, that's heavy. They don't want to carry that the whole way. And I'm like, okay, fair. Take some of the gasoline. I don't know. Put fucking wheels on it. Like,
well, I thought it was interesting that they did bring so much stuff. Ellen Page packed up, like, practically the whole encyclopedia set. And they have, like, 3 gigantic, those, like, huge hiking, intense camping backpack things. Yeah. And Ellen Page is carrying all of it while Rachel Wood carries the baby. And we've seen in the movie that they have a wagon. So, like, why did they not grab the wagon? I don't know.
For a symbolic purpose, burning the house down was tight.
Yeah.
For their survival. Dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb.
You know what else? Somebody always has to have a baby when it's the apocalypse. Doesn't that always happen?
Always.
Yeah, I feel like it does. Freaking Dawn of the Dead.
Freaking every time, I think.
Yeah. It's just, I guess you're right. It is overused.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We get it. Pregnancy's hard.
I gotta say, this moment was another moment, the last moment of the movie, really, where I was like, gay. Because you see Ellen Page walking behind Evan Rachel Wood carrying a baby with Ellen Page just has 3 giant ass bags full of shit, and she's like this tiny human carrying it up a hill in her flannel, and then the other femme person has a baby. And I just, like, if it weren't for the whole rest of the movie, I would have been like, they're a couple. They're not sisters.
This should have been about a lesbian couple who lives in the woods.
It should have been. Honestly, Kayla, to your point earlier, like, I thought there was something between them, and I was expecting a plot twist where, like, surprise, they're not actually sisters. They're like, I don't know.
I found our secret birth certificate that says we're not actually my sister. Yeah. Oh, sick. Now
Holy
we can
shit.
fuck.
Holy shit. No joke. When they're opening the pumpkin letter, Lindsay was like, oh, it's going to be your birth certificate. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why?
Pumpkin, just had to tell you, y'all aren't actually related. Imagine. Oh my god.
You think they would have boinked afterwards?
I think it would take a little bit of time to, like, get over, like, having, like, to unlearn the, like, sisterness of it all. But then maybe.
Give us an extended cut where
Hell yeah. The deep cut, if you will. Yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah, they go to the treehouse, which they packed all that stuff just to go to the treehouse that's, like, in their yard.
Yeah.
And, I'll tell you, this movie is called Into the Woods, or Into the Forest, and this whole damn movie, I've been waiting for them to go into the forest, and they don't go into the forest till, like, the very last. That's the end of the movie, is them going into the forest.
That's fair. I did keep wondering, when are they going to go in the forest for a long time? Yeah. And I was like, they're in it a couple times, but just for a little bit.
I was waiting the whole movie. Like, they should have. This movie is mistitled, in my opinion. It needs to be something 100%. Else. I don't know what else, but yeah, not Into the Forest.
Also, Ellen Page tries dog food.
Did she?
Yeah, do you guys? She opens a can and is like black.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they, like, bark or something?
Yeah, well, early on, Dad opens it because it's like they're unmarked cans, and he goes woof, and then she tries it later, and I'm thinking, what do you mean black? Shovel it down. I bet dog food's not that bad.
I had a friend when I was a kid who ate cat food all the time.
Okay, that's insane.
I bet it's really salty.
Her and
Yeah.
her sister both would go, like, sneak into the cabinet and get handfuls of cat food
What the?
and eat it all the time. They'd sneak behind their mom's back and go get handfuls of cat food.
That's
This
baller.
is fucked up. I've never realized how fucked up this is.
Holy shit. Oh, man. What? I hope they're doing okay now.
I looked them up not too long ago because I was like, you know, Facebook's tight because you can just be like, where's this
Yeah.
person I haven't seen in 25 years that I just randomly thought of? And then you can
They're
just
heads
look.
of a cat food company.
I don't know what they do for their jobs, but I remember one of them I always thought was a lesbian growing up, and she's married to a man now, so I guess, you know, that didn't pan
Well.
out, but
Not yet.
yeah, not yet. We'll see. Only time will tell.
Yeah.
But
man.
yeah. Just interesting.
Ugh.
So yeah, that's the fucking roll creds actually. That's the end of the movie. So I had yeah, we're all silent. I had a couple of quotes written down from reviews about just the general feeling or meaning of the movie because I'll tell you, I found the ending to be a little unsatisfying.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not the only one. You know, most of the reviews I read were kind of felt the same way.
Yeah.
But so I got 3 little things to read. So one of them is from the Roger Ebert website, and it was like about finding the ending unsatisfying, and it was like one could argue that by giving the viewers an uncertain conclusion, the director is attempting to put viewers in the footsteps of the protagonists of the 2 girls. So that's kind of interesting because you're uncertain about how their future is going to go, but they are too. So you're kind of, you know, puts you
Sure.
in their feet. Okay, that's interesting.
Mhm.
That's an interesting take. And I didn't write down who this one was from. After the man of the house dies in a freak accident and the 2 girls are left to care for themselves, hints begin to emerge that this may not be the doomsday after all, but rather the dawn of a new era in which women are freed from the patriarchy and reacquainted with their innate power. That was kind of a cool way to look at it.
Sure.
Yeah,
What do you
that's
think?
cool.
Yeah.
High feminist message. We don't need no man mentality. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And then just the last one, that the movie is about realizing that we're so much more resilient than we give ourselves credit for. Which, yeah, I agree.
Totally.
I agree and think is cool.
Super
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I think the apocalypse is all fucked up, but I think people will do a lot better than they think they will.
Yeah. I mean, Ellen Page even says in the movie something, or which one? Who said it actually? Maybe it was Evan Rachel Wood. I don't know. Whatever. One of them says in the movie, like, you know, people have been on Earth for like 200,000 years, and we've only had electricity for like 100 years. And
it's
we'll
a
be fine.
discussion they have, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, I think, you know, people would figure it out again. And, I mean, it sounds kind of wild, a wild stretch to compare it, but I feel like part of the reason I'm such a confident person is because I stretched the limits of my, like, humanity so often when I was younger, especially like
Sure.
in my 20s, like going on like touring all the time or like going on these wild road trips and stuff like that where, I mean, Colin, you know how it was.
Yeah, you lived a wild transient lifestyle.
Yeah, basically. Nobody knew what state I lived in anymore.
Yeah, you were all over. You once told me that you went to Chicago every weekend.
That's
When
true.
you were living in Indy.
Sometimes
And I was
I
like-
would get up for work and go to work my full day, as I had a full-time job still, and get off of work, drive up to Chicago, see a show or 2 or maybe even 3, and then drive back to Indy just in time to go to work again the next day.
Okay, that's tight.
And possibly sleep in my car somewhere for like 45 minutes and just go to work.
Okay, that
That
stresses me
is,
so-
yeah. It's amazing.
Stuff like that. So, but I used to do that shit like constantly. And you just
Yeah.
really push the limits of, like, how long can I go without eating and be okay? Or, like, how much
Oh, yeah.
how much can I not sleep and still actually be functional?
I've definitely done that one. I've never done the how long can I go without eating.
Well, I've not gone until I was, like, gonna die or anything, but, just, you can make it a lot farther than you think you can until you actually push the limits of how far you can go. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah. That's a great message to take from the movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just interesting.
Hell yeah.
Makes you think.
Kayla, what you want to do? What kind of rating you giving this bad boy?
What am I rating it? I still am not... I feel undecided because there's so many things about this movie that I really love. Like, I really love the actors. There are parts of the story that I really love. Like, we've, mentioned with, like, how they dealt with the trauma and, like, the two girls' relationship and stuff like that. I really loved.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was waiting for something the whole time, or most of the time, not the whole time. And yeah, I did feel a little unsatisfied by the ending. I kind of wish they would have had to go to wilderness sooner. And then we got some wilderness living in this movie. That would have been really cool. So yeah, I feel kind of split. So I think I'm going to go 3.
Hell yeah.
How about you?
This gets like a 3.5 out of me.
Yeah?
The second half of the movie is incredible. The first half for me was just kind of a slow, sometimes interesting, like, I don't know. The first half just did not encapsulate or engross me.
Yeah.
And then the second half, I'm just like fucking in.
I just really love the two girls and their relationship. I thought is just so good in this movie.
Yeah. Teeth, what are you giving it?
Yeah, I'm sitting at a good 3.5. I just genuinely didn't like the plot all that much, but the acting was awesome. Loved the acting and the emotion portrayed. I also, this didn't come up, but I liked the freaking sound play with the metronome throughout it. I found I found that great. I liked the filming. So yeah, 3.5.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, was there anything else that we didn't mention that we should?
I got nothing.
Nope.
Nothing else? That was it?
Yeah.
That's cool. So would we recommend this movie?
For sure.
Yeah?
I definitely check this movie out, I think.
I think I'm going to say yeah, too. Teeth, what do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I'd recommend people see it once, maybe give it a rewatch.
Hell yeah. It's not that long, was it? What's the old
Hour
run time?
40.
Hour 40? Yeah, not so bad.
No.
And it's on Netflix, so it's easy access. Alright, so we're done talking about this movie. Now it's time for ScreenVomit. So in this part of the podcast, we talk about what else we've been watching besides the movie we just talked about. So Colin, what have you been watching?
Lindsay and I just were like sitting down to dinner and we're like, let's just put something on. We don't want to, bother with the whole search thing where you search for fucking 40 minutes. So we watched Along Came Polly from 2004 with Ben Stiller and Jennifer Aniston. And I tell you what, it fucking sucked. Oh, God. Good God.
Oh,
Philip
my
Seymour
God.
Hoffman is in it, and he rules. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
Everything else blows. It's fucking...
That's where, like, Jennifer Aniston has a bird, right?
She has a ferret.
A ferret,
You'd
okay.
be fine to not remember what fucking exotic
Is
animal
he blind
she
or
has.
something? Doesn't he, like, run into walls constantly or something?
Yeah, the ferret is
I'm
blind.
pretty sure the animal, whatever animal it was, is blind, okay?
Yeah, it's an incredibly minor point amongst the 1,000 other minor points.
I remember when that movie came out, I just saw the trailer like a trillion times. It was like always on TV or at the movies or whatever. I was seeing that trailer everywhere.
Yeah, well, it sucked. Oh my god. I just like, I don't want to get into it. It sucks. Don't watch it. And then today I started a show at Lindsay's dad's request, actually, called Midnight Gospel.
Okay.
It's on Netflix, and it's the same dude who did Adventure Time, and it's basically this, like, a person. It has a planet simulator. It's animated, by the way. He has a planet simulator, and he goes to these various simulated planets and talks to these simulated people. And in actuality, the simulated person he interviews it because he has a radio show. The person he's interviewing is like a guest. So like the one I just watched is a guy who I don't love, but whatever. It's Dr. Drew Pinsky, from Celebrity Rehab and such.
Mm-hmm.
And
I used to be a big Dr. Drew fan back in the day.
You did?
Yeah. I used to listen to Loveline on the radio every night for like several years, and I do own his book.
I literally cannot remember why I don't like him, but he has a bad, like, when I
feel like something's happened in like the last few years that he like did something shitty or said something shitty, or I don't know. At a certain point, he just became like too rich that he's like not a human anymore. You know,
something like that.
He used to be a doctor that really helped people, though.
Yeah, he doesn't have a controversial section on his Wikipedia. So, anyway, but at any rate, like, it's really just this episode I just watched, they just talk about, like, mental health, psychedelics, and meditation, and, like, getting in touch with yourself, all while, like, crazy shit's happening in animation. I love it. It's really fun, and I'm actually excited to watch a TV show again.
Aw.
Anyway, that's it.
Sick.
Very
Teeth,
cool.
what have you been watching?
Let's see. I watched Jurassic Park the other day. I have been wanting to watch it very badly, and then my partner and I found out that it was at the drive-in here in Indy. So we went, had a little drive-in date, saw Back to the Future and Jurassic Park, and it was awesome. I used to watch Jurassic Park every single day when I was a child after I took a bath while my mom combed my hair. So,
Hell yeah.
I have very sweet connections to it, and I haven't seen it in a while, and I became obsessed with Laura Dern a couple months ago because I watched Big Little Lies, and then I forgot she was in Jurassic Park, so that was like an incredible surprise. I also have been watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's on Netflix. Best cartoon. Love it. It's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. That it for you?
That's it for me.
Sick. I also watched. Did we all just watch one movie in one show? That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
That rocks.
Okay. So I watched one movie, which was Eurovision, the new movie with Will Ferrell. Oh shit, what's her head?
Rachel McAdams.
Yeah. So it's got Rachel McAdams and Will Ferrell. Have y'all heard of it?
No.
Oh, okay. So do you know what Eurovision is?
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. It just came on Netflix.
Yeah, I saw this.
Yeah. So it is a huge competition that happens every year in Europe. And, there's basically a movie about how Will Ferrell, he plays like an Icelandic dude. And it's been his life's dream to make it onto Eurovision. And so him and Rachel McAdams have a band. And they end up making it onto Eurovision.
Hell yeah.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's kind of just like a fun romp. It's not really meant to be like broken down or anything, but it also does have like a pretty diverse cast. Like a lot of the other people who are at the Eurovision actual contest or whatever, like there's a lot of trans people in there. There's a lot of like people of color. There's like all kinds of people in there. There's like fat people, skinny people, like all kinds of people. And you just don't usually see that much representation in a movie, especially a movie made by a white man, a white straight man. So I just thought that was kind of cool about that movie.
Yeah, that rocks.
It's just like a fun romp, It's a Will Ferrell movie. It's like you know what to expect. And then I've also watched The Politician has season 2 out now, which I talked about. I watched season 1 like a while back, and I talked about that on pod. But yeah, that's a good show.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
Also, actually a really diverse casting of a show. That's one of my favorite parts about that show too. So, yeah, recommend.
Hell yeah.
I'd recommend Politician over Eurovision, but if you're looking for a fun escapist romp, Eurovision, I guess, would also be a good one to pick, probably.
Tight. That rules.
Hell yeah. So, yeah, we have no more thoughts. Are we done?
I'm wiped.
Okay, we're wiped. Keith, do you have anything to plug?
Plugs. Yeah, I'm gonna plug one thing. I'm gonna plug a podcast. It's
Okay.
Adrienne Marie Brown and Autumn Brown's podcast. I think it's called Surviving the End of the World. I haven't listened to it in a moment, but this movie super reminded me of it. They're two activists, writers, wonderful humans that are sisters, and they talk through like apocalypse, and they use Octavia Butler's Parable of the Sower and Parable of the Talents as like a framework, and it's just like pretty cool talking about the theoretical and like real, I don't know, climate catastrophes and like
For sure.
racial conflicts and just a bunch of shit, you know. But it reminded me of this movie a lot, except that their podcast is much more intersectional, which no harm done. Ellen Page and Evan Rachel Wood is a great movie, but it's a rad podcast, so yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sick. Anything else for you?
No, I think I'm good on the plugs otherwise.
All right, cool. Well, then we would like to plug Thin Swimmer for our theme song. And you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Letterboxd, all the things at ScreenVomit. Subscribe on your podcast app. We are also now on Spotify, baby.
Spotify.
I finally damn went there. Shout out to my pal Vic, who sent me a link of how to get on Spotify. So you can tweet us or send us an email at screenvomitpod@gmail.com with your thought on this movie or other movies, suggest movies for the future. I don't give a heck. And then we'll see you on the next ep. Okay, bye.
Bye.